fit into the. They're trying to fit into the matzah.
Ya'akov, some people want to say hi.
Can't hear you.
Some people want to say hi to you.
Yeah.
What about me? I want to say hi.
Yeshua, guys, go check Ava. Yeshua.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, so just a quickly chazer from, I didn't send out the chazara, so. Sorry. Anyways, okay. Sorry about that. So we were talking about the chiddush of untying things, right? What meaning a woman's clothing, what the chiddush is that she won't slip it off. Then we said that there's three levels of knots. There's permanent, there's quasi-permanent, and then there's one that's meant to always open and close. And then we had the whole sugya over whether we could compare tumah to tahara, tumah to Shabbos or not. Is it muktza, a shoe, being broken shoe, a broken sandal? Is that muktza? Is it not muktza? And that took us most of Amud Beis, and then we discussed how our door is much less of a level than the previous doors. Okay, so we're up to the two dots. 1, 2, 3, about 7, 8 lines up. Venudas yayin v'shemen. Yeah, Olam has it. Yeah, so what do we call the flasks of wine and shemen? So somehow there was a knot on top of them. Pshita.
Sorry, where did you say we're up to? I'm sorry.
On Kuf Yud Beis Amud Beis, around 3, 6, 8 lines up from the bottom. Yeah, you got it? Okay, Venudas Yain V'Shem Pshita Loitzricha De'islei Tarti Uni. It has two openings. Mao the same, what really Uni means pieces, right? Or ears. Mao the same Machadaminayu Patuli Mavatala. So you would think, okay, you only need one opening for your flask, not two. So Kamash Malan that you can still do both of them. Gezeira shel basar. So meat pots, pshita. It's pashut also. Like tzricha deisla shalacha mao. The same the same thing, that it had a spout. So you would think that you're just gonna let the stuff out through the spout and you won't untie it and keep it permanently tied. Kamash malan, that even though there's a spout, you're still gonna untie it. Rabbi Elazar ben Ya'akov Aimer kosher, right? So Rabbi Elazar ben Ya'akov had said in the Mishna that you can tie something in front of an animal so that it doesn't go out. Pshita was pashut. Like tzricha the isla tarti isri. There were two knots. Right? There were two knots locking it in, meaning they had two sets of ropes locking up the animal. Wow, the same. You would have thought that one of them is mavato, because you really only need one. No, that you could do both. Amar Rav Yosef, Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Shmuel, Halacha k'Reb Elazar ben Ya'akov. The Halacha is like Reb Elazar ben Ya'akov. We had this Gemara twice before. Amar Rabbi, Halacha mechlal de pligi. He's saying Halacha. There's nobody who disagrees with Reb Elazar ben Ya'akov. He just says his own din, right? So Halacha mechlal de pligi sounds like somebody argues. Amar lei, my nafka lechamin. He says, what do you care? What's the difference? I just telling you, Halacha is like Reb Elazar ben Ya'akov. Amar lei, Gemara, Murta dehei. This is Gemara that we're learning out of Shavis Miras. Right? Meaning, I want to know whether you're saying something that's practical or you just stop saying something. Okay. So, talk to Mishna. Kosher delete the piskia. You're allowed to tie a bucket with a piskia. Piskia, we said, was a girdle. Right? You're basically tying it with something that you're not supposed to normally tie it with. Meaning, this is talking about a how do you call it? A well. So you need to tie the bucket with a string in order to draw the water out of the well. So if you do it with a piskia, which is not something that you normally would tie a bucket with, then you're allowed to do it on Shabbos. But you can't do it with the rope, because the rope is going to be more permanent. Rabbi Yehuda says it is mutter. Any kesher that is not going to last, you're not going to be chayiv on it. You're not chayiv on it, but you're not allowed to do it either.
In Lakewood, are you allowed to tie it with a chavel?
What is that?
In Lakewood,
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I said in Lakewood, are you allowed to tie with a chevel? Because everything's so yeshivish, they probably do it normally, but this year.
I hear. I guess it would be totally. But maybe the Gemara will give us some clarity on that, right? Let's see.
It would be totally.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. So chevel demai. What type of rope are we talking about here? Right? Chevel da alma. Right? If you're going to say it's talking about a rope, a regular rope, right? Meaning Rabbi Yehuda allows us to tie a bucket with a rope. What kind of rope? Right? If it's a regular rope, Rabbi Yehuda mate, Rabbi Yehuda would allow you to tie with regular rope. Kesher shokayama. It's a kesher shokayama. Right? You tie a rope into a bucket that you lift things up from the well. That's something that's going to stay there for a long time. Ela chevel de gardi. What it is, it's a chevel de gardi. Right? How do you touch gardi? What's it called?
A weaver.
For weavers, right? For a weaver, right? A weaver's thing, right? Meaning it's not something that's supposed to be there. Not supposed to be something that you normally would lift up a bucket with. Remember the Rabbanan Sabri Gazrina Chevel the Gardi Otto Chevel the Alma. Do you mean to say that the Rabbanan hold that we're gezeira a Chevel of a Gardi Otto Chevel the Alma? The yehudas of a loy Gazrina and the yehudas is we're not gezeira, meaning. So why should you assur chevel the gardi? That's not going to be permanent. Nobody's leaving a weaver's ropes from a weaver over there, right? So so must be that it's a machlokes whether we're afraid that you're going to do it. Oh, yes, Johnny. Yeah, thank you. Remember the Rabbanan Tzavik because you know chevel the gardi auto chevel the alma that you're going to be gezeira on a chevel of gardi because of a chevel of the alma. Rabbi Yehudas of a loy gazir, and Rabbi Yehudas says you're not gezeira. Ramin, I'll ask you, stira. If that's the case, that the machlokes is whether you make a gezeira against other ropes because of this, because of a regular rope. Ramin, I'll ask you, stira chevel deletion nifsek. If you have the rope of a bucket of a well that broke, lo yehei koshrei elo ein by. What you should do, don't tie it, right? Because now basically on Shabbos you got to get water out of the well, so don't tie a knot. Elo ein by, do like we said in the previous Mishnah. You can use a bow, right? Rabbi Yehuda Aimer karechalav pundo episkia ubevat shaloi yad benu. Rabbi Yehuda says that you should tie a pundo or a piskia, the girdle or another type of garment that's not meant to tie things. Ubevat shaloi yad benu, as long as you don't use a bow. Kasha Rabbi Yehuda, Kasha the Rabbanan. So we have a stira from Rabbi Yehuda to Rabbi Yehuda, and we have a stira from the Rabbanan on the Rabbanan, right? Meaning because here Rabbi Yehuda does make the gezeira, and in our Mishnah he does not make a gezeira, and the Rabbanan do the opposite. In the Mishnah they make a gezeira, and in the Brisa they don't make a gezeira. So the Rabbanan run like Kasha chevel b'chevel michlef. A rope with a rope will get mixed up. So therefore it'll get mixed up. So we have to make a gezeira. Aniva b'kshira loy michlef. A person is not. If you allow a person to make a bow, he's not going to come to make a knot. So there's a difference. There's difference in the gezeiras. Rabbi Yehuda, like kasha. Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yehuda is not a kasha. Hasam lamashum de michlufa aniva kshira. El aniva gufa kshira. He's not because he's afraid that you're gonna mix up a bow with a knot. He just holds that a bow is a knot, right? El aniva gufa kshira. He holds that aniva is a knot, right? Which we said before. That wasn't so simple that we really hold that an aniva is considered a knot or not. But clearly Rabbi Yehuda, the Gemara is saying now, Rabbi Yehuda holds that it is.
Is the point over here that it's an unusual thing to do? Or because it's unusual, it's memela temporary? Either because the knot is a temporary knot, or because the material it won't last.
I thought the latter, that it's considered unusual, so therefore it's not a problem. That's why I understand it.
Why is it any less a kesher shel kiyama? I mean, it can
What do you
still
mean,
be
an
kesher
aniva?
shel kiyama. No, not the aniva, but the chevel shel gardi. The other things. It's
Right.
still a knot. Or even though it's a knot, because it's such a rope that the material won't last. It's not a kesher shel kiyama.
I mean, the way Art Scroll says it is that the weaver needs the rope for his work, and he won't leave it there permanently. So the rope is a good rope. You're not going to
He might, but you're assuming that he's not gonna.
It's not.
So
It's not
the one
from
is
the point that
permanent,
it's an
but he
unusual
leaves
thing.
he leaves it the whole Shabbos. He doesn't need it till Sunday morning, but he's leaving it the whole Shabbos.
Right. So that's the Rabbanon. Most say that it's got to be. Now you got to make sure not to tie for 24 hours.
But it's not
Right.
stam because it's unusual. It's because
So then it depends
it's
when it broke.
Depends when he's doing it. If he did it Friday night and he knows he
Like,
doesn't plan on
yeah.
taking it out till Sunday, and a Hanami, I don't know what you would say then. Right? The chayra, that should be a problem. No? Okay, let's see what. Amar of Abba, Amar of Chia Barashi, Amar of. Maybe Adam Chevel Misach Pesoi, a person could bring a rope from his house, right? And what he could do is he could tie one end to the para, and one end avos is the feeding, the thing that the trough, the trough where they eat out of, right? So obviously he's holding that this is a situation that you're not going to keep it knotted there. Rabacha bar Papa, right? We just had this 2 blot ago. Rabacha Aricha, the Rabacha was tall. Who was that? That was Rabacha bar Papa. The Rebbe Abba, Chevel Shemevim Shebe'avos, the rope that's in the Avos, Kashrei B'Para, you can tie it to the Para, but Shebepara, Kashrei Be'avos. And what's on the Para, you can tie it to the trough. Basically, you shop a Para Uve'avos, as long as you don't tie both. One end to the Para, one end to the Avos. Right? So you see it's a stira, because here it says you're not allowed to tie both ends. You could tie one end or the other end, but not both. No, there it's talking about stammer rope, a rope that it's chevel da'alma. It's not meant to stay there, so therefore we're going to assume you're going to untie it. Hacha chevel de gardi. Here we're talking about a chevel de gardi, which you may keep it there for. I'm sorry, the opposite. Hasam chevel da'alma. There it's talking about a regular rope, so therefore we're afraid that you're going to keep it there for a long time. Hacha chevel de gardi. Here we're talking about a chevel de gardi, which is temporary, because you're going to need it for the weavers. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Kli kivai mutal l'talta b'Shabbos. Okay, now this has nothing to do with knots, right? This has to do now we go into muktza, right? So a kli kivai, which is some sort of thing, some sort of kli that has to do with the loom, right? Rashi says since we're talking about garden, we discussed this too. So it's one of the pieces that you use on one end of the. Oh, you have a picture over there. So I can't see it clear. Which one is the Levi? Tivai, I'm sorry. Does it say? So there should be 2 of them, right? There's the upper one and the lower one. Yeah. Or the one on the right, one on the left. Yeah. Okay, very good.
Aleph is the Levi.
Right here.
That's this one.
Okay, so it's basically the long Mustama, those who have art scroll probably have it in the back of in the appendix in this chalik of the art scroll. I think, no? Those who have art scroll should have it. Anyways, so one of these long beams. So kli kivai mutal l'taltal b'Shabbos. You're allowed to move it on Shabbos. It's not muktza. What's the din of the upper heavy piece on the upper part? And the heavy piece on the lower part, what's it in? In v'lav v'rapa b'yadi. Sometimes it'd say yes, no, and it was loose in his hand, meaning he did not have a specific answer. He wasn't sure. Itmar, some of Nachman Amar Shmuel, kli kivai mutal l'talta b'Shabbos. Kli kivai, you're allowed to take on Shabbos. Afilu kavod ha'elyon v'kavod ha'tachton. Not only the kivai, but also the upper piece and the lower piece. Avaloyas ha'amudim, but not the amudim. Yeah. Why amudim not? Guma is right. If you're going to say because when you move it, it's going to make holes in the ground. David Gumas, it's going to make holes. Gumas memelaka. I mean, that's just happening. How do you say it? How do you say memela?
Automatically. No.
Automatic, right? So, yeah, it's going to happen automatically. It's not you doing it specific. It's not time and lefes. It's known as tachas agefen. If somebody hides, meaning he digs a hole and he doesn't dig the hole, but he puts lefes and snainas, radishes, and gourds under a geffen, in miktzas ala megulin, if part of the leaves are megulin, meaning they're revealed, they're not buried under the ground. You're not chayshish, not for klayim, right? Meaning crossbreeding them, and it's not shmita, meaning they're not look like they're buried. And they're allowed to be taken on Shabbos. The sada, but in the field you're not allowed to do this. Why? Because even though it's the same halacha, but if these vegetables are stuck partially in the ground, in the field you're not allowed to do it because we're afraid you're going to smooth it out. But here in the house you're going to come to do gumas, meaning there's no stira. In a house, you have a little bit of hole in your house. You're not going to hole in the floor in your house. You're not going to go smooth it. But if it's in a field, then you might come and smooth it out. So, yeah.
So, because these looms, they were in the house. It was in the chutzah by the house. They didn't go to the city to use the loom. It was right. They used it in the house and in the chutzah. So it was part of the house. It was there all the time.
Right.
So to make it assur would be strange, I think. They use these pieces probably for other things.
So that's why they're allowing the
ladies used this in the house. They made the loom in the house. They didn't go anyplace.
You mean so therefore they were constantly moving it around, so it's not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. Yeah. Very good. Yeah. So Ba'minei Rav Yachanam Rav Yehuda Bar Levi Kli Kivai could go in Kavir Elyon, Bekavir Tachton, Ma'ul Taltalan B'Shabbos. Right. So the same question. Amalei Ein Metaltalan Ma'tam Lefishein Nitlin. He said you're not allowed to move it. Why? Because Shein Nitlin, meaning even the Rashi says the Fishein Nitlin is because even during the week you wouldn't move it because it's so heavy. So therefore it's not gonna be a problem. Right, so that's what it is. So his opinion is that these things are so heavy you would never move them even during the week. So if you're not going to move them during the week, you're not going to move it on Shabbos either. The first shita held not like that. Okay, now the next Mishnah we get into is a common Shabbos issue. Yeah, Zok the Mishnah. Mekaflin es hakelim afilu aru chamisha pam. You are allowed to fold kalim even 4 or 5 times. Okay. Umatzian es amitos, and you're allowed to make the beds milei l'Shabbos l'Shabbos from Friday night for Shabbos. Now matzian es amitos, the Pashat reading doesn't mean your beds to make your beds in your bedroom. It means they used to do everything on beds. They ate on beds, right? They leaned on beds. All the Gemaras and Psachim. So that means setting up the beds to eat, right? But there are those that say that it means also to make your beds. But so either way, you're allowed to make your bed Friday night for Shabbos. Aval leimi Shabbos l'motzei Shabbos, but you're not allowed to do it on Shabbos for motzei Shabbos. Why? Because that's called achana, right? You're preparing. You're not allowed to prepare from Shabbos to motzei Shabbos. You're allowed if Yom Kippur falls out on a Friday, so you're allowed to fold your clothing. And you can make the beds for Yom Kippur to Shabbos. The chelbei Shabbos craven b'Yom Kippurim, and the extra fats that were left over from the korbanos on Shabbos, you're allowed to be makar Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur for Shabbos, but you're not allowed to do the other way around, right? You're not allowed to do it on Shabbos, and the Shabbos ones you're not allowed to do on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur ones you're not allowed to do on Shabbos, right?
How can Yom Kippur fall on Friday or Sunday?
Yeah, so with our calendar, it can't fall out.
Let's lay out the Rosh. Some say it can't.
In our calendar, we can't. What?
Lay out the Rosh. Yom Kippur can never fall on Friday or Sunday.
Yeah, but theoretically it could.
I mean, lay out the Rosh is only based on our calendar?
I guess. I don't know how else you understand it.
That's a klal in the Gemara, lay out the Rosh, no?
Yeah, but I don't know. I thought. Listen, it could theoretically have come out depending if you go with you being.
It was Judaism before the Gemara, Gershon.
Yeah, but if the Gemara is saying it, that means it's a halacha. It's not stam because
I mean, the art scroll. The introduction says prior to the adoption of.
It could come out any day. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
What are you saying? The art scroll. What does the art scroll say?
Prior to the adoption of the present fixed calendar, it was possible for this to happen.
Avada, what's the big deal?
Yeah. All right, they're striking you down there, Gershon.
All right.
Striking you down.
I mean, you don't really need a club.
Maybe
the Rosh, then.
You're allowed to argue on art scroll.
That's true. You are allowed to. Maybe if you made Avdallah already, you'd have more luck tonight. I don't know. Anyway, but look at the Toises, the second to bottom Toises, Makaflan Caleb. He says, Makan Lamadnu. I don't know what everybody's stance is on folding their talis on Shabbos, right? But the second Toises up from the bottom, Makan Lamadnu, the Asa Lakafel Talisis shall base a Knesset Vishem Tzarech Machar. See, I don't know what Toises means exactly. That from here we learn that you can't fold the talesim, right, for the shul, because they're needed for the next day. Mashma, that for yourself, yes.
No, for yourself you can't, because it's kvisa.
What?
It's libun for us. It's part of libun.
Well,
that's a
what
different
we're going to
gezeira.
discuss. That's what we're going to
That's not here.
discuss.
So this is
Well,
some hakana.
What?
He's saying
Here
that
he's
even
saying-
if you get out of it, even if you fold it backwards against the creases, it's still assur to do it on a shul one.
Well, we're going to get to that in the Gemara now and see if it's taka, if that's taka assur.
For shul or for you, for us?
For us.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever it is,
shul.
from here, yeah. I would think the other of it for sure maybe it would be mutter, because how do you know somebody's not going to come in that's going to need a talis in the afternoon or whatever it is? Right? Okay, but he's saying not.
Depends on the shul.
I guess so, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah. Amri Devei Rabbi Yana. So let's see what the Gemara says about the folding. It's very interesting, right? Because the push of the reading of the Mishnah is you're allowed to fold, right? That's the reading of the Mishnah. So now the Gemara gives you so many different qualifications that it comes out you cannot fold anything, right? Amri Devei Rabbi Yana, they said in the Besmerish of Rabbi Yana, Loi shanu ela ba'adam echad, aval b'shnei b'nei adam loi. This that you can fold clothing, that's only if one person folds it. But let's say, sometimes you have a big tablecloth and you have two people folding it. So if two people need to fold it, then that you're not allowed to do on Shabbos. And the Mishnah Brura actually says that, let's say you put one end on the table and you fold it that way, that's also not, that's considered like a person, right? As long as you can't fold it by yourself, that's considered like a person, right? Now the reason why two people, because it looks like your mom is fixing looks like you're fixing it, making something new. And even if it's one person folding, that's only by new clothing. Right? But by old clothing, meaning it's got to be brand new clothing that you would be allowed to fold. And by even new clothing, it's only white clothing. Dark clothing, you're not allowed to fold. And even then, you're only allowed to fold it if you have no other clothing. But if you have other clothing to fold, then you're not allowed to do it either. Okay? So there you go. So basically, in order to fold clothing on Shabbos, it's got to be white, it's got to be brand new, and you got to have no other options. Okay? So what does that say about us folding our talis after davening on Shabbos?
I know I asked the Shiloh once about folding my talis, and because it was a silver atara, it wasn't a problem. Because you fold it a certain way to keep the silver in good condition.
Okay, so why should that help?
Because if it's not, then you just roll it into a ball and chuck it in a talis bag.
I understand.
But if you fold it nicely, then the silver won't wrinkle over itself.
I don't know why that should change it.
Because it can get damaged if you don't fold it the right way.
The Maisa Shulchan Aruch says that you're allowed to. The Maisa Shulchan Aruch says you are allowed to fold your talis.
Why?
The Mishnah. What?
Even on the lines?
It doesn't. What's the lashon in the Shulchan Aruch? I'm outside, so I don't have the. It's in Shimon. It's Siman Shin Beis. Hold on, let me try and pull it up here a second.
I thought the lines are the issue because you're creasing it again to a certain spot. No.
Right. So yeah, hold on a second. Shin Beis. Where is it?
Quick for Ya'akov. Gershie's on the move.
Right, so that's what he says. V'yesh mi shomer, Naftali, like you're saying, the lakafle shaloi kiseder kifuli arishan, to fold it not on the original lines is mutter b'chol inyan b'nirin dvarav. That's the lashon of the Shulchan Aruch. If you
So
don't
what
fold
help? What does it help to fold it if you're going to have to do it back on the lines?
So that's an interesting thing. So some places can say, so if you fold it on Shabbos, not on the original lines, so then right after Shabbos, you got to take it apart and refold it, because otherwise you're creating new lines.
Right.
That's what some of the machmirim say. They get you. Then you think you're going to fold it from, like that's typical, right? You're darned if you do and you're darned if you don't. Right? You're going to have to unfold it anyway. So you might as well just roll it up in a ball. Right? But either way,
wear it like all the people that don't hold from the air.
Well, the truth is, I don't know. My talus does not have any lines at all.
You wear it. You don't even have a talus bag.
You wouldn't know because I daven so hidden. I don't daven in shul anymore. So how would you know what my talus looks like?
When you used to daven in a normal minyan and not some basic
I really
thing
don't daven at all. I just tell you that.
Landau, you call it a normal minion? Where you
used to daven in a normal. When any daven now is not normal.
Join the minion, it becomes a not normal minion.
Once you told me I can't have kiddush, I left the minion. That's it.
There you go. There you go.
Where's the mechaber?
Where is it? Shin Beis Sif Gimel.
Sif Gimel, he says you can fold it against the lines clearly.
What?
Yeah, we're not talking. We know that. We know that.
It's Art Scroll footnote 33 says it. Brings that down.
What do you mean? He says what? He says v'im chaser achas me'elo t'nayim assur. So you're missing those t'nayim.
If what?
It's not brand new, right? Your talus is not new.
Right. So it's also
right.
If he said it's mutter.
V'yesh misha aimer.
Against the creases.
Not on the original creases.
Oh, I thought you said. Okay, fine.
No, I said not on the original creases.
Yeah.
Now the rule, by the way, the rule in Shulchan Aruch is when the Shulchan Aruch brings the words yesh misha oiser or yesh misha oimer, that means he found one shita that says it. And he's saying you can rely on it, which is not stark, but that's why at the end of the line he says v'nirin dvarov. A lot of times Shulchan Aruch just means yesh misha, which means he's telling you there's an opinion. Yeah, exactly. It's he found it as a das yachid, and he means that you can rely on it if necessary. But here he adds v'nirin dvarov, right, to tell you that and that makes sense. Now my talus has no lines, so I really don't see why not. The only thing is Mishna Brura on this says that there's many achronim that still disagree with this. I don't know the sifkat, and I'm not finding it now. But I know that the Mishnah Brura says that there are many that say not, and therefore it's better to be machmer, which is where the velt is coming from, that they don't fold the talesim. That's where it's coming from. But certainly you cannot make a macha on somebody who folds his talis as long as it's not on the original lines, which I believe most people are not. I don't even know it's possible to fold your talis on the original lines. I mean, maybe the first couple of times, but that's about it. And if it is possible, that means you're not davening for long enough, right? You got to get the davening a little earlier. Anyways, yeah. But it's very interesting because if you just read the Mishnah, you're like, okay, I could fold clothing on Shabbos. And then with all the Tanaim that they heap onto it from the Gemara, comes out that pretty much you can't fold clothing on Shabbos, right? So it's interesting because a lot of times people ask, can the cleaning lady fold the clothing on Shabbos? Right? So I think I don't know if this is an midirabanan mamish or this is just like...
I can't do a malacha for you that you're not able to do yourself.
Correct, but the question is, this is not a malacha. This is certainly not a malacha. Right? And most folding of clothing, folding shirts and undershirts and these pajamas, all those things, there's no lines on that.
It's a tolda.
What?
It's a tolda. No?
It's not even a tolda. It's like a takana that looks like you're fixing new clothing. Right? So what, a cleaning lady can't do that? I don't see why a cleaning lady can't do it.
If there's lines,
if it has mamish lines, yes, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But it's almost what clothing that a cleaning lady's folding has lines like that, right? I would believe even a yid be'etzim could do it. We don't do it. There's no reason, even though the mechaber says it's okay. Mechaber says it's okay, but yeah, okay, whatever it is. Let's go right. Tana, shal beis Rav Gamliel lahayu mekaflin kli lavan shalahen and beis Rav Gamliel, they did not fold their white clothing because they had other clothing to fold. to switch, right? So since they had, even though it was white clothing and it was new, they had other clothing, right? Amar Rav Huna, yesh lo lahachlif yachlif. If he has other clothing, he should switch to that clothing. V'mein lo lahachlif yishalshal b'begadav. And if you don't have, then what you should do is lower your clothing. Meaning, if you have new clothing to switch into for Shabbos, the covered Shabbos, so therefore you should switch. But if not, then what you do is you lower your clothing so it looks like you're doing it chashuv for Shabbos, right? Meaning, back then they rolled up their clothing. Let's say they wore a long jacket, right? So they rolled up the jacket so it wouldn't get dirty. So for Shabbos, what the Gemara is saying to do is covered Shabbos, at least drop your clothing so it looks like you're not drop your pants. That's not what it's saying. Drop your jacket so that it looks like something for Shabbos. So more chashuv the Shabbos. Right?
So see them who put down their beard for Shabbos.
Is that what they do? So I thought that's where it comes, Rabbanas. They gave it to you. This is where it comes from. I think the minhag to wear long begadim on Shabbos. I think this is the Gemara that they bring. That's why some people put on long begadim for Shabbos. So Maskol or Safra, Mischazi Kiramos Rucha, you look like a Balgaiva. Right? So the Gemara answers no. Kivan the Chol Yom Eloy since all days he doesn't wear it long, but in the Hoda Kavod and on Shabbos today is when he's doing it. Loy Mischazi Kiramos Rucha, and it doesn't look like Gaiva. Right? Fine. So, yes, so that's what we're saying. So you should have, okay, we're going to, let's see before we can discuss it. Right, it says you should be mechabed it from your ways. What we learn out from the pasuk of V'chibadata is that your clothing of Shabbos should not be like your clothing during the week. He called his clothing his covered things. Right? Right? And he also said that your walking on Shabbos should not be the way you walk during the week. Right? And you should find your chafetzim. These are psukim, right? So cheftzcha asurin, your chafetzim are also cheftzei shemayim utarin. Cheftzei shemayim are motor. What is cheftzei shemayim? Like to make an appeal and talk about tzedakah, or to make shidduchim. These things are all business, but since it's business for covered for Torah, for Yiddishkeit, so therefore that's mutter. But your own business dealings, you should not talk about on Shabbos. Somebody asked me this week,
I think the Mishnah does the Mishnah Berurah say that don't wear long, but you should have special suits for Shabbos.
Yeah, based on this. Yes, 100%. That's what you should have, special suits, shoes. That's where it came, the Shabbos talis. I think that's where the minhag in the belt became. They have a Shabbos talis. The question is underwear, meaning clothing that people are not going to see. Is there any reason to have special tzitzis, special underwear? A guy asked me last week, he says, does he need a special mask for Shabbos? Right? That was a new COVID shiloh. Now when I think, okay, I don't know. I said, Al-Khari, you don't need a special mask.
Tell him to put some little rhinestones on it and bedazzle it.
Eretz gave me a whole pack of white
Shabbos
this week, specifically covered Shabbos.
Oh, there you go. So
all the guys who wear a Torah should put something silver on their mask.
Yeah. Right? Your father giving out white masks for covered Shabbos nowadays, no?
White mask.
He gave me a whole pack of white masks this week with covered Shabbos.
Right. So those underwear that he gives you, those underwear masks?
Yeah. I don't know if that's overcoming, but okay.
It's a diaper. It's a diaper.
Yeah. But anyway, so yes, I don't know what you do with socks and that type of thing.
Doesn't the Mishnah Berurah bring that? The Mishnah Berurah brings the chalukah tachton.
Does he bring? I don't remember. He brings that?
He brings the machlokes with chalukah tachton.
He brings the machlokes? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
there's
think
also an interesting Mishnah Berurah Mishnah Berurah brings the Gra in Hilchos Chalamayid, that a person should have 5 suits.
Well, because
Yom Tov is higher than Shabbos.
Right.
And Shabbos Chalamayid is the highest.
Yeah,
but it's interesting that the Welt is not makbid to wear special suits.
Reb Chanina Olav Shalom had his kapita for Yom Tov was different than his Shabbos one. He had a different one. Yeah.
Okay, the Welt does not do special Yom Tov clothing. Okay, whatever it is, fine. The dabar davar. Now we turn on Dhamma base to speak. Right, this is probably the toughest of the Gemaras that we have to keep. Right, yeah. Yeah. Just one thing before I turn on the page. Also, the bottom Taisus says if you have another clothing, you should change to it. I mean, you shouldn't fold clothing, right? So he says us. Taisus says we have clothing, so it's not considered. So we shouldn't fold. And then the re is mesupik if it's called that he has yesh lo lahachlif k'she'ein lo yafa kizeh. Let's say you have this is your nicest clothing. Is that called not having other clothing or not? Right? Meaning, could he say, hey, listen, I want to wear my nicest clothing on Shabbos, so I don't have anything to replace this. So we say, no, we're better to wear something not as nice. Right? That also comes up in Cholamayid. If you have no clothing, but you have less clothing that's not as nice, is that enough of a reason to wash things? Okay. V'dabar davar. Yeah. Your speaking on Shabbos should be different than you're speaking during the week. Dibur assur, here mutter, but speak is assur, but thinking about your finances is mutter. Right? That's okay. Again, speaking is even though the place can say here is also not. So bishlam akulu l'chai. So all these things that we said, wearing better clothing and not talking and all that, fine, that makes sense. How did they touch l'chai, the art scroll? Anybody have the art scroll there? Third line down.
It is
now
well.
with regard to all of them, it is well.
It is well.
The other weekly activities prohibited on Shabbos. It is well, i.e. the nature
is well.
of that.
L'chai is well. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
It's well, meaning it makes sense. Yeah.
The nature of the activities permitted during the weekday but prohibited on Shabbos is understandable.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So okay. Fine. So he's saying l'chai. No, I'm sorry. Before we continue, there's very interesting taisis here. I know we're doing a lot of taisis, but these are interesting halachas here. Taisis. So we said that davar davar is talking about speaking in business. That's Rashi. Taisis says, what do you mean business? We just got finished saying mimtzei cheftzcha, that business you can't talk about. What is davar davar specific to business? So Taisus basically says, just look at the last line. He says, "V'yirshami amrinan b'teireach hetiru b'sheila shalom b'Shabbos." Taisus says, talking on Shabbos b'chalal. There should be no talking on Shabbos. There are some gedolim that have tainis diva on Shabbos, right? I think what's it called, the Mashkiach? Shaimer used to have a tainis diva on Shabbos.
Yeah.
Rav Don Segel, maybe? Does he have on Shabbos also? I don't know. Whatever it is, Taisus says davar davar means you should not talk too much on Shabbos. Right? Another reason Naftali learned not to have a kiddush. Yeah? But you should not talk on Shabbos.
I don't want to know reasons why not to have a kiddush. I want to know reasons why to have a kiddush.
I understand that. That's why I keep giving you reasons not to have a kiddush.
In essence, it means bittul Torah, I'm assuming.
No, lav dafka, no. It's just not covered Shabbos to talk for no reason. That's what he's saying. Maybe it comes a bittul Torah. Could be it comes a bittul Torah. I don't know. You're right.
But you can think it.
What are you saying?
Think it.
Think what?
He says you can think it. You can think it, it says.
You could think, yes. You could think, but that's Lefi Rashi. But Taisus is saying that shouldn't be talking at all.
Yeah, Naftali, not only is it mutter to think on Shabbos, you can think during Chayil also.
Really? I chose
You could have a kiddush, you just can't talk to other people.
That would be a good idea. Make a kiddush.
You just can't socialize. You could eat your
Listen, if the food is good enough, I don't need to talk to anybody.
I'm saying you could have your kiddush, you just can't talk.
And Naftali, if the food was good enough, if the food was good enough at home, then you wouldn't need the kiddush either.
Whoa.
Naftali?
Look at my stomach. I don't think I have that issue.
Naftali has a good point. According to Taisus, what on earth does it mean? Here, mutarim.
What you not? You have to think. You have to think. No, you're not. No, here is mutter. What's the problem?
Well, you can't possibly make it assur. What does that mean?
I don't know. I know a lot of people that have no problem not thinking. All right. Anyway, what happens when a wife asks you, "What are you thinking about?" What's the answer? What the guy answer? I'm not thinking about anything, right?
No,
Ask any woman
that's
if a
just to answer the wife. You ever heard a guy say that to another guy?
I'm thinking how to not fold the tablecloth.
Very good. Yeah. Okay. Whatever it is. But then Taisus brings the Yerushalmi. It says, "B'toreach etiru b'sheila shalom b'Shabbos." With a tircha, they allowed you even to say Shalom Aleichem or Good Shabbos. So now all those people that make fun of Brooklyn that nobody says Good Shabbos in the street on Shabbos, the reason is because they go like the Yerushalmi. It's not because they're snobs. It's because they go like the Yerushalmi.
I wish that were the case.
We gotta be
that were the case.
You gotta be Donam L'Kaf Schus, all right? Donam L'Kaf Schus.
You shall be mashma that even to be marvin shalom you couldn't.
That you can't.
You cannot.
Correct. That's what they were doing in Brooklyn. That's what they do.
So I'm gonna ask them that. I'm gonna ask them that every time they don't answer me. All right, I'm gonna let you know.
All right.
Okay, you tell them.
Not for Brooklyn. Stop it.
Okay. Anyways, tell them.
We can say Lakewood too. It's okay.
Okay, whatever it is. Fine. Weiter. Ella shaloye luchos shel Shabbos.
Naftali, why they would say it's not business, it's personal.
Oh. Okay. Anyways, so go. So
by the way,
Ella.
in Brooklyn, everybody says the Shabbos off. Okay.
Oh, is that Shmuley?
Yeah, I've tested it many times. Everybody says Good Shabbos.
Shmuley, because for you, they're afraid they're going to
You have a very inviting face. You have a very warm face. They like you.
Everybody says Good Shabbos.
I believe I'm with Shmuley on this. I'm with Shmuley, but I know people like to say in Brooklyn. People like to go to Brooklyn just to be. They're only saying Good Shabbos because they want to get people. They'd be very upset when they answer Good Shabbos. Whatever. That gets into our Achdus COVID shmooze, but that's a different shmooze at a different time. Yeah. Anyways, so the third line down, right? Ella shaloye hiluchos shel Shabbos kiluchos shel chol. Your walk on Shabbos should be different.
We see you.
Yeah. Shaloye hiluchos shel Shabbos kiluchos shel chol. Your walking on Shabbos shouldn't be like you walk during the week. Mahi, what is that? Ki odon Rav Huna amarav amarilo amarav Abba amarav Huna hayamalch b'Shabbos apoga ba'amas hamayim. Let's say you're walking on Shabbos and you get to a big puddle. If you're able to jump over the puddle without jumping, without both feet in the air, then it's mutter to do that. Vim lav assur. Then if not, then it's assur to go over that puddle.
What's this?
Okay. What? It's shaloyesh lukach. That's a weekday activity to jump. Right?
Which is what? Of what the third line?
Well, from the pasuk saying that you shouldn't, your steps shouldn't be too big and you shouldn't jump.
So the other option is to walk through the puddle?
Oh, so that's what we're going to say. So that maskula, let's see the next line, what the options are. So maskula rava, heichila avid. So now what are you going to do? So I know what a lot of us are going to do. We say, okay, I can't go to shul today. I'm going back home. I can't get through the puddle. That's it. You're a potter, right? The Gemara doesn't buy that though. Heichila avid, how are you going to do this? If you're going to go around it, you're walking, you're making extra walking. By the way, anybody that doesn't want to take a walk on Shabbos afternoon with their wife, this is the Gemara for you. You're not supposed to walk on Shabbos. It's not. You're not supposed to take a walk on Shabbos. It's no extra walking on Shabbos. That's considered extra work, right? Now, obviously, for enjoyment, it's allowed, but stam to do extra walking, not allowed.
What about if somebody does it every day?
Even so, in Shabbos it should be much less work.
Person
right?
is saying his health.
What?
Person's going to say his health.
It could be. I'm saying if you're going to enjoy it, in and air, fine. But if you're not going to enjoy it, it's time to walk around extra is not the proper thing to do.
Shalom bias.
Yeah, there you go. All right. And a chanami, I'm just saying. But if you want to, when you claim it on a Gemara, usually helps.
Thank you. My wife's listening right now. Thank you so much for the shalom bias thing. Thank you.
It's not walking to 4 Kedushim before you get home. That's not shalom.
Yeah. All right. Whatever.
Does this tomorrow make it assur for me to go to shul on Shabbos?
Well, for you?
Yes, yeah.
For me, bedavka.
You bedavka because it's an avodah.
Yeah.
I hear. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, obviously, the minig in the Welt is not like that. The minig in the Welt is not like that. Right?
One Rav would go to shul.
Yeah. Elamai, you got to make your own shul in your house. That's all. That must be. You got to make your own shul. All right. Cleveland's waiting for a new shul. There you go. Okay, right. The liavar, should you pass over it? Zimnin de misvaschen mani maya. So what's going to happen if you do that? Then you might get your stuff's going to get soaked in the water. Basically, they schita, and you're going to come squeeze it out. Your clothing's going to get all wet. You're going to come squeeze it out. Ella baha given the loyasha shabbat. I mean, in this case, since you don't have a choice, you're allowed to. Right? Fine. Ella kedeboy mine rab me Rabbi Yishmael Rabbi Yossi maluf say psia gasab Shabbos. What about taking large steps on Shabbos? Who are you allowed to even take big steps during the week? Right, which eliminates playing ball, by the way. Right? So we say, Shani, I heard psia gasa netelas echad mechamesh meyas mima'ara einov shel adam. Taking large steps takes away 1/500th of your sight, whatever that means. And you get it back when you make kiddush or bein hashmoshes, when you make Friday night kiddush. So you get back all your sight that you lost from making large steps. So I guess if you play ball, what?
That's why we look at the candles?
Can't hear.
That's why by kiddush you're supposed to look at the candles?
No, that I think is that the pshat? I don't think so. Because Rashi says it's drinking the wine. Right? You're supposed to look at the candles, I think, just to be hinene from the candles before your Makadosh.
So you're saying ball playing? Yeah. Saying that's why we don't allow ball playing on Shabbos because of this?
No, not on Shabbos. Even during the week, I'm trying to assur it even during the week. I'm going Israeli on it.
Okay, good. Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, because you play so much ball. But
tiring just watching people play ball.
No, it just says psia gasa is not allowed. Right? Yeah. Okay, whatever it is. Can you eat dirt on Shabbos? Now this is back to refuah, because some people ate dirt for therapeutic reasons.
What's the issur? What's the issur for?
Of what? These are all dirabanans based on this pasuk in what is it? Yirmiyah, Yeshaya. These are all dirabanans based on the psukim that your Shabbos should not look like the weekday.
What's the issur? Go back.
There's no issur. It's no issur. It's a dirabanan dika gezeira to make Shabbos look different than during the week.
Based on what issur?
Based on the psukim that that those are the 6-7 words that changed the Yiddishkeit, changed Shabbos, based all on that pasuk. Yeah. That's what it is. Anyway, so what's the story?
I don't understand pshat. It seems a bit shler. The prisoners are taken with ankle brackets, ankle chains. So we're b'nei malachim. We're supposed to be royalty, and here we are. It's an issur to go ahead and have a stride. It seems like that's backwards.
Have a stride? What, a big stride?
Having a normal, healthy stride. It seems like it's like backwards.
I don't know. Yeah, you shouldn't do it. Like, yeah, that's how else do you how else do you understand it?
But, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're supposed to be like royalty on one hand. On the other hand, that's the way prisoners walk. With short.
Oh, you mean to walk? No, I don't think it means to walk smaller.
When you have muktza, it's dirabanan, right? So it's atu. You might come to do something. So I'm asking, what's an atu over here?
It's not an atu. It's not an atu.
It's a stoltz of the yid. It has nothing to do with atu. Right. A yid is supposed to look and act a certain way. It has nothing to do with anything.
Right. No, I'm with you on that. But it seems.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Oh, you just want to yell at your son-in-law in public?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fine.
That's not yelling, by the way. That's talking.
That's derech.
Yeah,
that's being passionate.
I'll let you know when he's yelling.
Anyway.
It's usually at me.
Yeah, that's right. The yelling is reserved for Naftali. But
Naftali.
Anyway, tune in 9:30 a.m. on this same channel if you want to hear that. Okay. Maybe 9:40. Anyway, no, this is all about trying to make Shabbos look different than the week. That's all this is. I mean, that's all. I'm not belittling you. I'm saying that's where we're coming from. Doesn't mean you have to make your steps smaller, but it just should be regular at a calm, normal pace. No walking fast.
I thought you're supposed to walk fast and, in fact, even almost run to get to shul.
So that's the vice. So
what
the way we paskin is if you're running to do a mitzvah, then you're allowed to do it. But stam running, you don't do. Yeah, Rabbi Kleinkalvin told me a story. He was once when he was a bacher running to get a bus, and he ran. He caught the bus, and he got on there out of breath. And on the bus was Rabbi Malin, right from the Ziknei Rosh Yeshivas. Then Rabbi Malin was sitting on the bus, and he looks at him and he says, "A yeshiva bacher doesn't run, not even to catch a bus to be on time. A yeshiva bacher doesn't run." Speak to Rabbar, speak to the Chaim in the old school. A yeshiva bacher, a yeshiva man. It's a whole stolz. It's totally lost on us. This whole concept is totally. Reb Shlomo Zechron L'Rocha tried to implement this type of thing in whatever. It's gone. Unfortunately.
Yaakov, you brought it up. So Shlomo, I don't know who knows Reb Mendel Morris wouldn't be well. You know Reb Mendel Morris. He's a cipher now in Muncie.
Yeah.
Old time Berlin. He's one of these, like this,
Right.
Shlomi is the Rosh Yeshiva. He says, Rebbe, how come all the Gedolim look like Reb Mendel? None of them look like me.
The what? What
how come all the Gedolim look like Reb Mendel Morris? None of them look like me.
Here. Right. Okay. That's yeah. Okay, but there's different attitudes. About it. But that was that type of attitude. But that's something that we do have to try and get ourselves the what Shabbos is supposed to look like.
So it's not if a person runs for health, every day's running, he shouldn't do that really?
On Shabbos? No, it's definitely better not.
The week even.
No, it's if it's the normal thing to do. Yeah, would these people, Rabbi Malin, say you can't do it? 100% it would say you can't do it. Maybe it would say you get a treadmill, do it inside the house. But okay, it's not for everybody. It
depends if you exercise with your hat and jacket like your uncle or Rabbi Brown.
Yeah.
Your rectal and your hat and your
We're going to start getting into attire. We're going to start talking about exercise attire. Can we start talking about biking shorts?
For sure. I'll tell you a different issue in my house. Everybody wearing slides during the Shabbos Suda. All right? Oh. That's a different, now how do you call that covered Shabbos? All right? Wearing slides during the Shabbos Suda. Okay. I mean, all right, whatever. We're not going
to get dressed. You're lucky to get dressed.
What?
Yeah, this channel is cutting into the primetime movie at 11. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I know it's a little late. I'm trying to make it more interesting than the movie. What should I tell you? Yeah. Okay. Should we do? Okay, let's do a little bit more and then we'll stop. Bomine Rav. Tomorrow's daf is also long. Okay. Bomine. Listen, this is Negei Lamaisa stuff. I think it's kedai to go a little slower to hash it out. What's the story? Are you allowed to eat dirt on Shabbos? Meaning it was therapeutic, but it's not a normal thing to do. So can you eat the dirt on Shabbos? It looks like you're doing refuah. Are you even allowed to eat it during the weekday? Even during the week, it's a problem because it's going to hurt you to eat dirt. That's a very scary line right there. If you eat the dirt in Bavel, you are eating your parents' flesh, meaning because of all the death that went on there, and right, they're buried there. Some say it's like you're eating, disgusting things. All the mason of the marble ended up in that part of the world. It's called Mitzula because that's the same type of thing. That's where all the mason of the marble ended up over there. Right, but it's for sure going to be. How do you touch this? How do they touch this?
Disintegrated, no?
Right, they're going to disintegrate, and they're not going to be made into dirt, right? No, but since they got damaged, so the Chachamim made a gezeira on it. Yeah. Right, there was a person that ate gargishta, which is also some sort of dirt. V'ochal tachli, and then he ate what do we call that stuff? Cress. V'kodchule tachle belibe umis, and then some not animal, some bug crawled up through his body and went to his heart, and then he died. When it says that you should wash and you should anoint yourself and put on your clothing, that's these are begadim shel Shabbos. Okay, I think we should stop here. What? Somebody want to say something?
Isn't there a Gemara that says Rabbi Elazar ate dirt?
Sounds familiar. I just don't remember.
I think he was eating dirt. He was so poor, he was eating dirt.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, but I guess if he's going to die, then it's certainly worth his while, right? Anyways, okay, I'm sorry for the length here, but good
Would
talk.
this Gemara be mashma that we shouldn't eat anything that grows in Germany, Poland, Austria?
I hear. From the vegetables, you're saying specifically, or anything from there?
Any vegetables, so things that come from the grounds. Because they quite
hear.
literally could be said they grew out of Avisainu.
Yeah, but the thing is, but so how come the Gemara here says to eat dirt? It doesn't say eat vegetables. Right?
I don't know why. Why?
I don't know. So it must be just the dirt itself. No, the chayr, it's only the dirt itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fine.
Yes,
Good talk, everybody.
Thank you. Good luck.
Good talk and a good year, and everybody should be well.
Bye.
Yeah. Somebody said something.
Yeah. Quick question.
Mm-hmm. Harold, how's it going?
How's everything? Not related. My daughter last night went to light candles, and she lit, but she didn't realize she didn't put the the liquid in, and went out after a minute.
And then what? She didn't light. She relit it. She didn't relight it. Or she didn't.
She didn't relight. She figured it was Shabbos for her. My son-in-law left the shul.
No, so that's all. She doesn't have to do it. You're fine.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. But your son. Next time she should tell us somebody else to light it up or whatever.
Yeah, but he left already. She should get someone from the apartment building.
Oh, you mean she wasn't by your house?
She wasn't by my house.
No, I guess you don't have to make yourself meshuggah, but it would be better. It would be better if you can find somebody. Yeah. But she doesn't have to light another one. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Harold.
no problem. Good to go.
Yes.
Question: lemons? We were talking about lemons about teeth. Is lemon juice or lemons good for the gums?
It's acidic, so it causes the teeth to get away or rot away. I guess you could say.
Right, not the teeth, but is it good for the gums though?
Good for the gums? I don't know. It could be. I don't know specifically lemons.
Okay. Thank you, Harold.
No problem.
All righty. Okay. Good talk, everybody.